Hey everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm the Chess Nerd and today I'm going to be playing a 1200 player while being blindfolded. So this is a first for me on camera. I'm really nervous and you know, there may be some big mistakes in this one. Let's see what goes on. I hope you enjoyed the video.
E5.
Cavalier F3.
Cavalier C6.
Fou C4.
Cavalier F6.
Cavalier G5.
So this is the fried liver.
D5.
My pieces are trying to attack f7 here with my bishop and my knight.
Cavalier A5.
And so this is theory after knight a5.
Fou B5. Échec.
Fou D7.
Bishop d7 here. I note this line less. Usually it's c6 that's played. But bishop d7, I just knew that it was queen e2, the follow-up. So here I'm defending my bishop on b5 and I'm attacking e5.
A6.
Loïc doesn't see this. He attacks my bishop, puts more pressure. And here I have the chance to capitalize for the first time of the match.
Ouais, c'est ça, je pense que je peux le prendre.
J'ai aucune idée pourquoi tu peux le prendre, mais ça me fait peur.
Je peux pas prendre le pion?
J'ai aucune idée.
Dame prend E5, échec.
And so finally I take this extra pawn here.
Je pensais que tu parlais de sac, ton fou.
En A6, non.
J'étais comme tabarnak, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Reine.
Pinning my queen to my king as I'm pinning his queen to his king.
Prend D7, échec.
So we'll probably go to an endgame here.
Cavalier prend D7.
Dame prend E7, échec.
Fou prend E7.
Cavalier F3.
And so knight f3 here, I play this move directly because when you're blind and you see that a piece is attacking yours, you don't take any chances, you just go back instantly. So that's why I played that move so quickly. And here we're in an endgame in which I have a pawn or two pawns up. And so this is favorizing me.
Fou B6. Cavalier B6.
Attacking my weak overextended pawn on d5 here.
Petit roc.
Cavalier prend. Comment ça s'appelle? D5.
So keeping this completely honest, I completely forgot about that d5 pawn, and when he said knight takes d5, I was like a bit shook.
Tour E1.
And so here I play this juicy move, rook e1, pinning this bishop onto the king. And so Loïc castles instantly in fear of that.
Oh my god, je suis actually crazy. Pion B4.
And now I play the first mistake of the match, b4. And so here I calculated that I can take off this knight from c6 because this knight is dependent on this bishop, so it cannot take. And so after this knight goes to c6, I can play c4. This knight has to move, and then.
Je prends mon temps pour que tu mémorises le board. Parce que je dois toujours repenser aux pièces.
If it wasn't for bishop takes b4 here, simply taking away from all those calculations.
Cavalier D prend B4.
Oh non, une erreur.
T'es ma part?
Tour prend E7. Ton cavalier défendait ton fou.
I completely forgot about my free pawn that I give here, basically getting my rook. And this was a big fear that I had right after I took the bishop, because blindfolded, you don't necessarily see these free moves like this in advance. So you always want two pieces or two knights for a rook. It's just better in material.
Attends, c'est à moi, hein?
Ouais.
Je suis con. Cavalier B prend C2.
So knight takes c2, and I can't save my rook here. It's trapped. And so this is something I didn't see. However, my only move here is bishop b2, saving my rook. So at least I'll get a knight for the rook that I'm about to give up.
Cavalier prend A1.
Je prends un.
And so now we need to count material, which I didn't do in the game. So I'm a bishop and a knight for a rook and a pawn. And so this is a very, very tight game. So right now this is the threat, rook takes c7. So my rook on the 7th rank, this is a great theme. You always want your rook placed on the 7th rank of the opponent. So if it was the black pieces, the rook would be on the 2nd rank. This is just a great piece to have on that rank. And so Loïc plays c5. Of course, the power that black has here, having two rooks, is that no file is certainly controlled by me. Whenever black wants, they can play rook fe8 and have total control over the e file, say. So I am never a ruler of the file.
Cavalier C3.
Tour C. Non, tour F. E8.
So rook fe8, a very strong move, trying to capitalize on this weak file that I actually have to give. So I can give up the open file like this, or if I want to trade rooks, the remaining rook will still have this open file to himself.
C7.
Cavalier C4.
So knight c4 here. This is a move that I underestimated for sure. I thought black was just giving me a free pawn.
Tour prend pion C5.
Cavalier prend pion D2.
Non, Loïc.
And so let me defend myself. I did see knight takes d2. And rook e1 check. I knew it wasn't checkmate though.
Tour E1, échec et mat.
Cavalier F1. Pourquoi échec et mat?
Ah! Excuse. Ben, tour prend A1.
Ouais.
Fuck, moi aussi.
Pion G3.
So here I need to give my king some air with g3, otherwise some nasty rook e8s, rook e1s can severely affect, back rank checkmates or just getting my knight.
Toi, ça? T'as donné fou un E7, cavalier prend C2. T'as une tour pour deux cavaliers. Les pions égales, je pense. C'est intéressant, là. C'est pas là pour une bonne game. Merci. C'est pour les neck and neck.
So at this point in the game, I pretty much know where all the pieces of the board are, because as you exchange down, you remember more easily where all the pieces are. So at this point, I'm pretty good.
Tour C1.
So rook c1, this is a move I didn't see, and this pin became annoying the whole game on my rook.
Tour C7.
At this point, it was actually a draw game in my reference book, but I thought I would try to grind him out just a bit more.
Tour
So rook e8, a great move, trying to threaten rook e1 to gain my knight here.
Ouais, G2.
B6.
Cavalier E3. T'as un pion de plus?
Oui.
Oh, what?
Mais t'as deux pièces pour une tour.
So yeah, I didn't even know that I was a pawn down. I thought I still had my d pawn at the time, so I forgot that knight took my d2 pawn before.
G6.
G6, this is Loïc's first big mistake, I think.
D5.
So this was Loïc's first big mistake in the game. So g6, opening up this f6 square for my knight, so I'm threatening to fork this king and rook on f6, and also threatening this pawn on b6. So certainly to say that this move is pretty good.
Roi F8.
Cavalier D5 prend D6.
Tour D7. Tour E7, excusez-moi.
Tour C8 échec.
Roi G7.
Cavalier B6 D5.
Are frozen here in this position.
Roi H6.
And so king h6 here. I think it was the lack of moves that induced this error here. So king h6, putting his king in a very vulnerable square here on the h file. So we see this king already looking like it's in a mating net. I mean, this king is super weak. And let's look at how I exploit this weakness in the black position.
Pion G4.
So here, vital move by me, not only taking up this h5 square, so now the king is a little bit more imprisoned, but threatening g5 here, check. And if the king were to go to g7, have knight f6, threatening rook g8 checkmate. So threats already coming in from this one mistake. So f5 here I missed a beautiful combination. So you would have thought that this pawn is attacked, I should move it up and play check, which I did in the game, but here I missed rook a7. And so basically, if you take my pawn, the beautiful idea is that I can play knight e4. And so if you take my knight, I have knight f6, and this would be a mating net. And so this is my longest turn of the game. So I took 3 minutes here. The majority of my time was spent thinking about king g3, to be honest, because here I have to think about quite a few things. If king g3, black has this combination, rook takes c3, knight takes c3, and now rook d3 check, forking my king and my second knight, and winning 2 knights for a rook. So I had to make sure that that was under control. And secondly, after king g3, black have rook g1 check. And here I still have to defend this pawn, right, to continue this knight f4 checkmate threat. And so after rook g1, I have king h2. And here after king h2, black cannot play rook g4, really trying to win this pawn on h4, because I have knight f6 check. And this, seeing this blindfolded, was super hard, but I managed to do so. So this would be a fork, and I'd be winning this rook. And so this granted me the possibility to be confident in playing my next move.
Tour prend cavalier en c3. Tour d3 échec.
F3.
Tour prend cavalier en c3.
Tour. Ma tour est en A8. Tour. Tour en 7.
And here you might look at the evaluation bar and think that I'm completely winning. I am, but it's duly noted because of these key moves. So f3, shielding my king from this vital check, and still defending h4. So this black king remains in a mating net, and so this is super important for this move. Now I can play rook a7 and attack this vital h7 pawn. And so the difference between a 2000 rated player and a 1200 maybe is that a 1200 would also spot this weakness, but would play rook h8 to attack it, not noticing that black would have rook c7 to defend that same threat. And so that's the beauty of the move I played. Rook a7 not only attacks this h7 pawn, but also covers black's best defense against it. And this is what makes it completely losing and makes the mating net work.
h6.
Tour H7.
F4 échec.
Il est pas posé.
Ouais, sinon c'est fini pour moi.
On prend F4.
Tour C4 échec.
Roi G3.
Tour prend.
Ouais, tu peux pas.
Ben, je peux.
Mais tu peux.
Ben, sinon c'est mat, non?
Ouais.
C'est ma seule façon de survivre. Mais j'ai perdu. Oh my god.
F4, quelle ressource, by the way? J'ai vraiment pas vu ça.
Ben, ça sert à rien. Ça revient au même.
Ouais, mais si ça marcherait, genre, je serais dans le pétrin. Genre, j'avais aucune idée. J'avais fou que j'ai noté F4.
Non, j'ai trop. Oh. Didier, là.
Abandonne?
Ben, tu peux m'échequer mat si tu veux. Pour le content.
Ok, vas-y.
Tour en H4 franc.
Ok. Tour prend H6 échec. C'est pas mal, toi.
Je sais. Roi prend en G5.
Tour prend H4.
Ça. En fait, c'est ça. Je peux pas qu'on fait ça. Mais. Roi. F5.
Tour A4.
And so here Loïc knows it's over. He would have abandoned here, saved me some time. But we ended up playing it right until the end there, as you can see on the board. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this game. It was super hard to memorize all this from my perspective. But yeah, it got easier towards the end game when there was lesser pieces to memorize and to calculate for. But it was a struggle and it was a very fun experience. And so finally, after 56 moves, I played the finishing move.
I must say I'm exhausted, but what a game that was. I hope you enjoyed it as much as me. It was a big challenge I think it was like 40 moves ahead. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to the channel and like the video for more content like this. It's a new thing. I mean, we're trying content in person, and if it does well, we'll just do more and more of it because you guys seem to be engaging with it really well and enjoying it a lot. So thank you so much for watching and have an amazing day.
What's up to the chess nerd? There we have the channel.
Est-ce qu'on voit son main spread?
Manspread, by Manscaped, sponsored.
Straight up.